You have reached your destination.
Yep. All right, so here's what I've got today. Got this off of Amazon. Finally, it took a goddamn while. It came from China. Um, it's a fuse block. It's a basic fuse block, right? And all it is the connection between these terminals and these terminals via the center, right? Each of these are connected to the spades that you just saw. I'm going to pre-tin this wire to go through all of these and be the common 12 volt DC across everything here, and then on the other side I'll plug in individual things. I'm about to pre-tin this wire. I've got the one end in my vise, the other end just sort of looped around my toolbox, just for some tension, because I'm going to light this up with my torch. It's frankly easier that way. I've got a decent-ish soldering iron, but it's not as decent-ish as I want it to be, so I need to take the tape off of this. I'm going to pause. Okay, so what might not be too intuitively obvious on this wire, I've pasted it with a bunch of this stuff. Okay, this is flux. If you're a plumber, you know what flux does. If you don't, it's also called soldering paste. So typically when you buy a piece of wire, it's got some anti-corrosion stuff on it, and it doesn't like to take up tin and lead. So soldering paste or flux will help this stuff flow more easily. I've got my blowtorch on a low flame, and myself situated here on a low flame, and a roll of solder. All I'm going to do is heat up one, and this is too long for my my fuse block on purpose. So if I burn some wire, it's not going to hurt my feelings, right? So nice and hot. It's not taking up the. There we go. Okay, that's done. A little bit of a bitch to do, but you can see that I've taken it all the way through. I actually started over and went it to the other end here. Went it through all the way, looped it, and then went it through the holes again, so that I've got plenty of tension against the holes. All right. I tried to solder them in. That was kind of a bitch, but I've done this before, so this is what I'm going to end up with. Now, what I'm going to do, use my heat gun. I'm just going to put a bunch of glue on there to insulate all of this stuff against water intrusion, obviously. And I'll show that in a sec. All right, let's see what we got here. I've done some wiring, quite a bit of it. I've probably got 4 hours of wiring in. And I've deliberately chosen colors that you don't often see in a stock MGA. So, purple, left and right seat heaters. Pink, my, what'd you call it, USB charger port, cigar lighter kind of a deal. And yellow was already there. That was it was an extension into my, my backup lights. Yeah. So, I'm going to pause and turn some lights on and kind of give you a better vantage point again. So, what you don't see, or what's hard to see, I've got a couple more things here. That black goes into my electric windshield washer pump, and the one in the back, it looks kind of pinkish, but it's red, goes to my overdrive. MGB, 4-speed, all synchro electric overdrive from Dick Moritz. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. Okay, using these, I have redone the wiring that goes into the fuse block. This is the native MGA. You see 2 fuses. That's it, top and bottom. This top one was the one that continued to pop, for an unknown reason, and it blew out my brake lights. I didn't know what the hell was going on with brake lights, and I troubleshot for hours until I finally realized it's a goddamn fuse. So I was about to replace the pressure switch or redo the entire thing in a different manner, but, I went for the easiest first and found out the issue. So, again, I redid the fuse block here. You'll notice that everything here on your left is the what I've often heard people call the green circuit. The green circuit powers most of everything in the car, from lights to the heater switch, the blower motor, that kind of stuff, right? White is the power in off of the key. To the white, I added the white to this relay. So power comes into this thing, it makes it click. When it clicks, two contacts come together. It sends power from the red into the blue, and from the blue directly into the fuse block here. Okay, this thing is capable of 80 amps, I think, something like that. 80 amps. I will never see that many. I've got 40 amps, I think, coming off my alternator, maybe 50. I also redid the main power cable coming in from the battery and into the starter solenoid switch. I had an issue where I needed to, or wanted to replace it, so I did. I didn't want to splice something like this together, so it goes directly to the battery, and there she blows, right? While I was under the car, I did some redo of some of the wire. I dressed it up nicely. I had to take all the some old stuff out to replace it with the colored stuff I have here. And I took the opportunity to redo some of the bare spots. Touch-up paint. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Let me press pause, and I'm going to put the duct back on so you can see how it'll look once it's all put together. Yeah, there. So unless you are really looking for it, you almost don't see the fuse block, right? Now, I have considered where to put this. I thought that the best place would be to put it here on the bulkhead where it's sort of out of the way. If it gets wet, I'm not worried about a ground out or a short out. But I couldn't find the space for it. I thought about moving the entire fuse block over a few inches and putting that fuse block, the new one, in there, but it would obscure the body number, and I didn't want to force stuff in there. So it occurred to me that I bought a marine grade waterproof fuse block with covers, and if it gets wet in there, I'm not awfully worried because it's not directly in the, it's not directly in the the elements if something goes wonky. And everything else here is directly in the elements. If something goes wonky, I'm fucked anyway. So those are wires that go into my, I'll fix that later, those are my indicators for my custom gauges. Indicators, flashers. So I'll show you right quick. This is the wiring that I've moved. For anybody who's worried about wiring up on the drive shaft, I've got stuff under and inside the tunnel to prevent it from rubbing on anything. Okay, all that wiring goes into this and USB port, charging port, and then my seat heater controls, high and low for each side. Yeah, not bad. I've also, I don't know if I put a video to this effect together, but I put boxes in my spaces. Normally this car comes with two 6-volt batteries in series for a 12-volt system. I have one Miata battery at 12 volts, so I'm using the other one for cargo / tools. I have a couple of wrench sets and some wire in there, and that's it. This reminds me, I've got to get up in my attic and get my my jack set down. Got one of the King Dick things, I think, and the battery. The red line is what I had replaced from there all the way to the front. So It's a welding wire capable of 110 amps, I think. I went a little overboard, but this stuff was nice, and it's pliable, and it's easy to bend and move. I took pains to make it insulative against everything else, and there we go. So, yeah, that's been my last couple of weeks. What's coming up is either this, and if you have an eye for what you're looking at, this is a fiberglass top. I got this. I may redo this, make it look nice, and then auction it off like I did with my my MGA trailer, because it was given to me and it was free. And the guy that gave it to me was a solid guy, cool dude. So you know who you are, and I love you for it. I may just do this and then auction it, make a Bush Foundation. My actual Vanden Plus aluminum hardtop is up in here, packed away nicely and with love. So I'm not sure which one I'll do first. I think I'll do the fiberglass one first for practice. Yep. That's Calypso. This one's Calliope.